contact did you have with your other female colleagues at this time in the early years?
In the early
were they
years,
organized at all?
no. In the early years, of course, the only ones I knew well were curators of my own level in the biology department. There were 2 women there that I was on very good terms with, but I knew none of the women who were actually faculty on the faculty's part of the staff, the teaching academic staff. I didn't know anyone, I think, and saw them perhaps at a distance, but had no contact with them. But the moment I was appointed, I was contacted, or very shortly thereafter, I was contacted by Hazel Henson, who had organized this group called Women of the Faculty, and she asked me to come over to their luncheon meetings.
Oh, that was...
They met once a month for lunch, so even before I was officially on the rolls, I was attending their luncheon meetings, and we had a nice little room reserved for us in the old student union. Every first Friday of every month we met together, and there would be about 25 or 30. It was very enjoyable, and I got to know then all the women.
You said 25 or 30 of you?
Yes, there were
quite a number.
It was. Yes. The room was filled. It was a congenial group. Then we had a meeting once per quarter at which one of the women would give a talk about her work. So we got to find out what the other women were doing and what the problems. So we didn't do much of this women's lib kind of thing of sitting around and feeling sorry for ourselves. We were too interested in what they were researching.
Working on.
One woman was working on the problem of public lands, the homestead laws that had been were no longer in effect, but what the homestead laws had been and had done and so on. I found that fascinating because my folks had homesteaded.
Absolutely, yeah.
And another ran the nursery school. She ran this big nursery school. She had started it over in the Stanford Village.
Yes, that would have been Edith Dowley.
Edith Dowley.
Yes.
And Hazel Hansen, of course, in classics.
What about Marge Bailey? Was she there at the time?
No, she didn't think much of women.
Oh, so I've heard.
She
refused to come?
She refused to come. Hazel, it was a matter of pique on Hazel's part that she couldn't get Marjorie Bailey to come. She told me that Marjorie Bailey just doesn't approve of us. She doesn't think that women should set themselves apart by organizing. They're simply members of the faculty, and that's that. But Hazel had, in consultation with the administration, had come to realize that unless the women could speak up and speak with one voice, they wouldn't be heard.
This is what I wanted to ask you, besides delving into each other's research work and so forth. Was there any attempt, if any one of you needed, say, was coming up for promotion within your department, was there any political organization at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So.
No, this was simply that we could be a public voice for women as academic members.